Joe, just as a whole, how pleased are you just with the offense right now and the flow you guys and the level you guys are playing at consistently this early into the season?
Yeah, guys have done a great job trusting each other, making the right play, spacing. The cool thing about offense and basketball in general to me is, you have to be able to make each other better, whether if you have the ball or not. And our guys are bought into making each other better, whether they have the ball or not. And I think it's cool to watch.
Joe, Jokic was a minus 14 in this game. That's not something you see very often. What went into winning those minutes with him on the floor?
I thought we did a great job. He only had 3 assists. And so, we talked about before the game, when you have a game plan, you got to stick, whether it's uncomfortable or not, you got to stick to certain things. And he's a great player, and he can affect the game in a lot of different ways. But I thought we did a great job limiting his assist and his playmaking.
And Peyton comes in, gets the opportunity, and immediately pays dividends, especially with the offensive rebounding. What does it say about him to be able to come in and affect the game like that after not playing as much?
Everything. I've said it to him. I've said it to others. No matter what situation he's in, when his name gets called, I trust he's going to be ready to play. I trust he's going to know the game plan, and I trust he's going to have a great mindset. And so, it's a compliment to the locker room that the guys like each other and they keep each other engaged, and it's a real compliment to him that regardless of the circumstances, he's going to execute.
Joe, last year, obviously, the fourth quarter was a problem in closing out games. This year, it hasn't been.
Yet.
What has this team learned? Thank you. What has this team learned from last year, and what is it doing differently down the stretch against a good team that was cut it to 6 at the end of the third?
Yeah, I think it's just the guys growing. I think it's the guys understanding what we're trying to do with our organization, with our game management, the shots that we're trying to get, the spacing that we're trying to have, and the matchups that we're trying to attack. And so our guys are really smart, and they do a great job putting themselves in situations to make the right play and to attack the right matchup.
When you mentioned guys making each other better, when you're watching, what are the signs of that? Like, what are the things you're noticing that you can tell that that's what's happening?
Shot selection, I think, is the biggest thing, right? Like, our ability to generate great shots means someone has to screen, someone has to shoot it, and someone has to pass it. So I think it starts with that. And I think the other piece is just our general randomness, our creativity, our movement off the ball. Like, and people are willing to pass to each other, they're willing to screen for each other, and they're willing to, when they drive, make the right read.
Joe, could you talk about the decision-making you're seeing, on offense right now, where it seems like the ball's moving, but guys aren't being, too unselfish?
You said they are or they aren't? Yeah, I mean, I think it's important, right? Like, I think you have to have a system to where guys are able to be aggressive, but they're able to understand just to read the defense. And so I think our guys are really doing a great job reading coverages and then reading how to take advantage of the coverage.
Joe, 7 turnovers tonight, and the previous game, the starters were really good at protecting the ball. What are you seeing that's going into that? Because turnovers had been an issue in the past.
Yeah, point guards to start with. I forgot what their ratio was the 3 games before this one. But Smart has been great in his assisted turnover ratio. Derek and Malcolm have been great. So I think it starts with them. And then I think it starts with decision making. And so when you have great spacing and you make the right play and you read the coverage the right way, I think the passing is a little bit easier. And so we stay out of those disadvantaged situations that kind of force turnovers.
It actually sounds like you'd think the more you move the ball, the more you pass the ball, there's more opportunity to turn it over. But actually, the more you move the ball, the less you're turning it over.
I never thought of it that way. That's a good point. Yeah, and when turnovers do happen, it's because someone didn't shoot the ball. Yeah. Nothing good happens after the first shot's passed up. The first good shot. Not just any shot. That's a good thought. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. Probably just because of our spacing. And like I said, they read coverages. And so if a guy slips, they know where the next guy is. If a guy sets a screen, they get the ball where it needs to go. And so it's just a compliment to our guys reading the defense and making the right play for each other. Mic drop. I like that. Thank you.